We are now into section 8, knowledge management. The last of the practices in the relevant practices, the most relevant for the create, deliver, and support. Even other practices apart from these 12 may be used, may be less relevant. Yeah? The purpose of knowledge management, something which was not covered at the foundation level. Yeah, so we have seen practices like service validation and testing. We have seen software development, service design, and now we have this knowledge management. These are some of the new practices which are not covered at the foundation level. The purpose is to maintain and improve the effective, efficient, and convenient use of information and knowledge across the organization. So the key word here is the knowledge. Yeah. To maintain and improve the knowledge and the use of the knowledge. Yeah. So the word use is the most important one, it seems here. And what does it mean? Transform the intellectual capital into value for stakeholders. Provide the right information at the right moment to the right people. Discover and provide high quality information, which should be accurate, reliable, up to date, relevant, complete, timely, compliant to the scope of the knowledge required. Because the value streams will use the knowledge. A key thing here is enable an evolutionary environment rather than a static environment because of the dynamics of the modern businesses. It needs a different culture actually. So these are some good points. The evolutionary environment. Improved absorptive capability. There should be a capability to absorb information and learn from it. People should be able to digest the amount of the high amount of information they have access to, and they hear or read and absorb it in the right way. Eagerness to learn and to unlearn and to gain and share experiences and insights, share with each other. Also use the knowledge for improving the decision making, yeah? Rather than just learning, but use them. Adaptive change culture, being ready to change. Learning can help in changing in an easier way or a faster way. Performance in line with organization strategy. Meaning when the organization is evolving, the people performance should also be changing. And data and insight driven approaches, which means without data, there may be no insight. Therefore, having the data creates insight, which is a more evolutionary environment. So these are maybe some of the finer points of how to enable an evolving environment. And that can be done only by having some enablers. One can talk a lot about the evolutionary environment, but they need to be enabled by the right management, leadership, and some of the things are listed here. There should be some systematic and integrated processes for knowledge management. Empowering people to develop and share knowledge. People should be feeling safe enough to share, to create, to connect. Use modern technologies, data, information, knowledge management methods. How to deal with the raw data, how to give meaning to the raw data, and from the meaningful information, how that information can be classified, sorted, summarized, presented, yeah, published, whatever. And also separate training and mentoring. The human touch, that is. So the ITIL knowledge management uses the SECI model of knowledge dimensions. S for socialization, E for externalization, C for combination, and I for internalization. These are the four continuing with the 2 dimensions. Conversion of tacit to explicit, how to do that can be challenging. Conversion of explicit to tacit, how to do that, yeah, again could be challenging or non-challenging. Transfer of knowledge from individuals to groups and to organization-wide. So these are some of the things to be kept in mind. A person who has a lot of experience and insight, how they can document something. On the other hand, how the documented knowledge could be made more specific for different situations or made more tacit. Coming back to the SCCI model, how the knowledge is combined, transferred, accepted, and shared in 4 ways. There's also a table coming afterwards. Yeah? What is socialization? If 2 people are talking to each other at an expert level, that is socialization. On the other hand, when one person is sharing their insight and another person is trying to record it, yeah, explicit, then it is externalization. On the other hand, taking information from one document and creating another document is explicit to explicit. Or using 2 or 3 documents and writing another document is explicit to explicit combination. Internalization, looking at a procedural document, which is an explicit document, and trying to understand it and reflect on it on how it could work in different situations. So you see all the 4 combinations. Now for the exam, do we have to remember this? I can't say yes or no, but knowing this is good. Yeah. I think at least you must know what is the SCCI model rather than having to remember each one of them. Yeah. Next is the practice success factors for knowledge management. 2 of them: creating and maintaining valuable knowledge and transferring and using it across the organization. Yeah, it is important to first create it and transfer it. Secondly, effectively using information to enable decision making across the organization. Creating and maintaining and transferring knowledge is one thing. Secondly, using that for decision making is another thing. The first one, creating, maintaining, transferring, and using it. So using the knowledge is there in the first PSF, and the second PSF is about effective decision making with this information. So there should be a culture to meet the practice success factor 1, knowledge management culture. The employees should be educated about the importance of knowledge management. There should be a safe or open atmosphere which allows teams or encourages people to challenge the existing knowledge and consider alternatives, improve the knowledge. And the bottom one here, increasing the intelligence in the required areas. People have to become more open, conversational, emotionally intelligent, more social. Intrapersonal, interpersonal, meaning interpersonal is between 2 people. Intrapersonal is self-reflection, self-thinking. All those capabilities have to be improved. People should be able to ask questions about the tasks. And priority should be there for knowledge sharing. Unfortunately, because operational environments are so complex, people may not find time to share the knowledge or even focus on the knowledge management. Therefore, it needs to become a habit. Maybe a Kaizen burst has to happen to do the knowledge practice properly. Learning and unlearning. A day-to-day habit should be there to make the practice success factor 1 really happen. Listen to others and also speak to others. Influence others also. People may not contribute to knowledge management because they may be afraid of punishment. They may not want to experiment and learn and unlearn. They may fear that they will be judged based on the failures only rather than the experimentations. So a safe, fail-safe environment must be provided to them. Otherwise, they may think that if they fail, they will be replaced while they were actually trying to promote the knowledge management. Yeah? So there are some risks and dangers in by implementing this practice in the wrong manner. So quite a lot on this knowledge management. A little bit more on the same success factor. It has to connect with other practices. The organization has to change, therefore the OCM will come in to bring in a new culture of knowledge management. Workforce and talent management will have to look at the gap analysis and look at how to close the gap. They may have to bring in some knowledge champions or knowledge leaders as new resources. knowledge manager, knowledge leader, knowledge champion. Different roles, creative roles could be created. And the last practice success factor, the second one, is effectively using that information. Using the knowledge was the first part, but using that information for the right decision making. Which means the information should be available at the right time. And information should be accessible from various corners of the organization. And also some alert messages may be sent. For example, there may be some knowledge management tools, some proprietary tools or market, open market tools, which may look at how things are going on. For example, it may send an alert that in the last 1 month, only 2 knowledge articles have been created.